The inspiration behind this look was a smoky look, not done in a gray pool of color. It was done with actual colors. So we used bronzy colors throughout her whole skin and face. We kept her lip neutral because we don't want to compete with her eyes. We want her eyes to be the star of the show. So she's looking very foxy, I think, with her smoky look. Don't be afraid to try smoky with blue, greens, purples, even neutral colors could be smoky. So I'm using a cream base on her. We're going to do a smoky eye that's not a gray smoky eye, but instead more of a beachy bronzy smoky eye. When you do smoky, you can actually do it with any color. It's more about the application. And we're doing a cream base first, so if she wanted to stop here, she could. We're using that same base underneath her eye just to kind of start creating that smokiness. And it's just kind of fun to use a color underneath there and not just black. Look forward.
Okay.
We're using a bronzy palette, and we're going to kind of go back and forth between these two colors right here.
So this is a powder.
Yes, this is a powder. It's going to go right over the cream. I'm going to have you look right at my shoulder and keep your eyes open. So I'm going to use this lighter color and tap it right up the middle.
Okay, is this a look we have to keep in the summer, or is this something we can do September, October?
Absolutely, all year round. Just kind of look at on trend and see what the Pantone color of the year. A lot of times that's what trend comes from. But these are definitely summer or fall colors for sure.
Okay.
I'm using a color called Camel, which is a very weird looking color just to look at it, but it's actually a transitional color. It's going to take the darker colors into the light without looking like 3 streaks of color.
Okay.
So you want to use, sometimes it'll be a color like this, sometimes actually a bright orange, something just to kind of take the color and melt it into the next one. And I'm using a fluffy brush and putting it right in her eye crease.
Now, why is it important to melt the colors together?
Because then if you don't, it's just going to look much harsher. You don't want to look, especially with the smoky eye, because it's a little bit more dramatic. You don't want to see where you stopped and started color. You want it to be blended out really well.
Okay, so the difference between that and then sort of that?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then even once the color's on there, just go back in there. Sorry, your long, luxurious 20-year-old legs. You just want to pick the eye up almost like this.
Okay.
Take your brush and then just keep going, blending. So the smoky eye, you want to add light as well, so it's not just, again, a big pool of dark. So I'm going to take this lighter color and kind of hold her brow bone up again and place that color in her brow bone.
And are you using, what kind of brush are you using for that?
It's kind of more of a pointed brush because it's going to go exactly where I want it to go.
And you're using just a white?
It's more of a cream. It's like a bone. Okay. Another thing is you could use your concealer up there. Mm-hmm. That gives you a really fresh, just tweezed kind of look, but blend your powder on top of it.
Okay. Okay.
I'm going to add a little bit of that opal color right in her tear duct here. That's going to make it have a little bit of life once we add the liner on, so it's not just totally dark, but you could even kind of bring it down into there just a little bit. So I'm going to add a little bit of black in her waterline, but again, not a ton, and this is a waterproof black, so it's not going to just drip down her face. So look up, and you want to do it kind of close again to the lash line. A little bit more here. Okay. Look ahead.
Okay. So you're just lining the inside of her eye.
Mm-hmm. Just lightly. Again, not like 80s when we took it and we just drew it in there. We're kind of just lightly placing it along the lash line again.
Okay, good.
So I'm taking a brush with powder and I'm going to create a line for her.
So just powder?
Just powder for now. We may decide, depending on how smoky we want to get, but for right now we're just going to powder it out and smoke it out. Open. And I think that will be enough. I don't think you need, but we're going to go in there a little bit more.
Okay. So what you do is you just kind of take it and play with it.
Yeah, and just kind of get in there. A smoky eye doesn't have to be perfect. It kind of, the messier it is the better.
Okay.
You almost want to look like you kind of slept in your makeup. I'm taking that same liner and just smoking it into her crease. So again, it doesn't have to be perfect.
But you're using a different brush, aren't you?
Same brush.
Same brush.
And if you notice, just keep going back and forth, open.
And you're not pulling any more product. Yeah, there's a big difference in the two eyes.
So this is smokier, and both are good looks, but this is just a little bit more smokier.
Okay, go.
So we're adding mascara. A lot of times too with this look, people will do false lashes, which are really, it's a fun look with smoky eyes especially. But for tonight, we're just gonna do a little bit of mascara again, but I'm kind of making it a little bit spikier. If you notice, I'm kind of dragging the brush up here to play with her lashes a little. Open. We're going to use some eye cream again. Even though she's in her 20s, I cannot say enough. Get a good eye cream, even if it's from the drugstore. Just moisturize the heck out of your under eye. I always say look like a glazed donut when you're going to bed, because your skin is repairing itself, your body is repairing itself. So in terms of a smoky eye, it's important to get that eye clean around that area. You want your eye to look messy, but not your under eye to look messy.
Wait, say that again.
I'm using a stick foundation to kind of perfect her skin in certain areas. Again, I feel like now it's not about foundation all over your face. At times, you can really just pick and choose where you want to conceal. Sometimes, especially guys, when they say, oh, she has a lot of makeup on, they're not talking about her smoky eyes, they're talking about foundation on a girl's face. So just being able to have your skin breathe, but just placing your foundation strategically is a good thing to know.
And how are you choosing the places to place it?
I'm just looking at her face, knowing where I want to contour and kind of take away the redness of her skin.
Okay.
But we all have those places on our skin where we go to immediately when we're concealing.
Okay.
So just pick those places and think of your powder as the blinder that's going to kind of melt everything together. But also saying that, sometimes you do need a full face of foundation, and especially when you're going out at night, you just want that really polished look. That's okay too.
Okay.
Bronzer. Every girl loves bronzer. Doesn't matter if you're light, if you're dark, even I wear bronzer. It kind of gives your skin that oomph that you need. So we're going to bronze her up really good, just to kind of give her that smoky, bronzy, like she's been on vacation. She just got off the plane and she's going to go out. You want to take your bronzer down your décolletage area. Don't forget about underneath your chin. Even your ears. If you're wearing your hair up, sounds really strange, but don't forget about your ears and around your neck.
Do you have a particular kind of bronzer that you like, or is it just whatever works for you?
Whatever works for you, but bronzer, you need to play with some bronzers. There's also a cream bronzer, which that's a good point. I'm going to use actually a little bit of a liquid bronzer on her as well.
Okay.
She just kind of has that going out look, so we're going to give her just a really great beachy, metallic-y. We're going to run it down the high planes of her face.
Okay.
Smile for me. Around her cheekbone. When you're doing your makeup at night or to go out, think about what story you try to tell. I know that's kind of deep for makeup, but really it's an accessory. You just need to know, like, is it an era that you're inspired by? Is it a look? Is it a trend? For this one, we really love the whole thought of beachiness, but yet a little sassy too.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we have the glowy look going for her, so I want to continue that. I'm going to use a cream blush on her. And a lot of people would be afraid I'm going to use this orange color.
Okay.
I'm actually going to use it also on her lip.
Okay.
Just going to take my finger.
Yeah.
Smile for me. And we're going to do it almost like someone pinched her cheeks.
Oh, I do that a lot. I'm glad I'm doing what professional makeup artists do.
Yes. Even some people, like our grandmas, would take their lipstick and do the same concept.
I actually do that when I'm running late for a meeting and I've forgot my makeup.
It's a
for the end of the day.
We want to pick one or the other and play off that. So we're going to do more of a neutral lip. I picked a Wet n Wild color actually, and it's from the Fergie line. Fergie actually came up with a whole bunch of lipsticks that she herself uses. This is really great neutral skin tone lip. I'm also going to add a gloss to it.
And that's just like a neutral gloss?
A neutral gloss right on top.